in which the state can recognize its property. As a matter of fact, there appears to be no legislation that actually says that any name or title can be used to identify a man. The unaware man presumes that name or title is his and so claims it as his own. Number 3. As men or women, we have been unknowingly and falsely been claimed property belonging to the state as our own and thus have been held liable for such belligerent acts. No one from government ever provides full disclosure of this fact, including those in the court system. There is a presumption of suretyship based upon a man or woman making a claim or, in legal terms, testifying against him or herself, and no one from the government ever rebutes this claim, as ignorance of the law is no excuse. Number 4. As men and women, we have legal responsibility to inform or rebut the presumptive death in absentia. Once informed, in order to remain in honor, the state has a duty to settle all claims on behalf of its property. Number 5. As trustees, executors, administrators, or fiduciaries of the public trust, it is the duty of the state, agents, officers, to settle all claims of all property held by the state, as all debts or commerce are public debts and shall not be questioned. Again, that's under the 14th Amendment. The name or title is state property and has been assigned, transferred, conveyed, and delivered, or interest thereon made to or for the account of the United States. And that's under 12 U.S.C. 95A. Continuing on, I quote the Declaration of Independence. It's the very last line. And for the support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. And that's from the Declaration of Independence. And why should we not freely give all to society, as we are we not all brothers and sisters? We cannot take anything with us after our time on this planet has ended. This includes the titles, names, estates, property, money, etc. All this stuff, quote unquote, stays in the world and does not transfer. So there is no logical sense to accumulate. However, the creator and owner of planet Earth gave us the right to use, control, possess, and have dominion over his quote unquote stuff while we are incarnate, and really for the purpose of being of service to others. Man, because he sacrifices his health in order to make money, then he sacrifices money to recuperate his health, and then he is so anxious about the future that he does not enjoy the present. The result being that he does not live in the present or the future. He lives as if he is never going to die, and then dies having never really lived. And that's from Tenzin Gyatso, 14th Dalai Lama. When you think about it, isn't that the truth? We hold on to what we can't take with us, and when I realized that after we die, that is, we hold on to it like this is real. It's not. And when I realized that, this is why this resonates me, the peaceful inhabitant, so clearly. It's a spiritual law that we all need to learn, that God is our creator and supplies all our needs. It is not a Barack Obama or even Donald Trump, though I truly believe Donald Trump is a powerful force to wake up humanity to see just how corrupt the system really is. And again, I want to be clear, I'm not picking on the system, but again, the system, life works on a two-way street. That is certainly the way I see things. What you plant, what you sow is what you reap. And what's happened is there's a consciousness rising, so this is my opinion, of course, that something is wrong. People are losing. They're losing jobs. People want to work. They're losing homes. And for what? And it all seems over Federal Reserve notes or some other plan for one world government. And again, I wouldn't be necessarily a wrong one world government. I wouldn't be against one world government. What I seem to have grave concern over is the fact that the intention behind the one world government, if you look in Georgia, the Georgia Guidestones, I believe the first tenet says to reduce the population down to 500 million. Well, I believe there's like 6 billion people on the planet. Where do 5.5 billion people go? You could say, well, that's just somebody put that up, but it seems like it just a path to destroying humanity. Now again, in one sense, we have Jonathan Gruber who said, you know, people are basically stupid. And when I hear a lot of people and their opinions that are not based in any facts or just they're emotional or very sensitive, it seems like we can look at the election and see how sensitive people are about it. But they really don't know what Donald Trump is going to do or not do. They just assume. So they're reacting to something potentially that may or may not happen, but they're waiting. They just know it's going to happen. And I've spoken to people like that, and they said, but how do you know? Well, they know. They know Donald is evil, but of course Hillary was our saving grace. I didn't quite believe that. And again, it's not even to be involved in it. It's just using this as an example. Participating in the system says, which of course we know is already corrupt. Donald has proven it. Whether it's voting or it's manipulation or whatever it is, it's clearly people are making profits and gains off others, and I just really believe that's wrong. And it's certainly not helping the fact that the national debt is expanding. And it's with our use, and we're considered, which I believe it was mentioned in here, going back to the congressional record of the bankruptcy of 1933, that were presumed as persons or individual banks or banking interests. And again, that's, if you look over with, I can't remember his name, his first name was Dan. He goes over the mortgage, Dan Benham. He goes over the mortgage issue on 6 YouTube videos of where your signature creates the credit. Well, again, it's unbelievable. It truly is unbelievable, where a signature creates credit out of thin air, and the bank acts as a servicer and makes quote-unquote money, and the government acquits or discharges, or however it monetizes. Who knows? I don't even know, and I really don't care. I looked at that stuff a few years ago, and it's like, it was so sick I didn't even want to be bothered with it. I'm sorry to go off track. It's one last paragraph to finish this, and then you're open to comments. Again, I hope this opens up to a lot of people to at least learn this, educate yourself, look into it, get the word out. Anyway, last paragraph, continuing on. Upon that end, and upon your oaths, I extend to you my immunity as a living flesh and blood man, and require you in your official capacity that you correct any records in your private system and advise or instruct me how to conduct myself as exclusive and authorized user of state property. And again, let me just say, you still must use the name. It's how you do commerce, but what you're doing is you're accepting the suretyship. And that's where the problem lies. It's not the name that is good or bad, it's that the presumptive of that you, the man or woman, are surety. Continuing on, by necessity, I seek equitable relief. It is not my job to figure it out. It is not my intent to interfere in government matters, and if I have erred in the past, I ask for your forgiveness. As I really did not understand that I was warring against the state by making false claims, and therefore harming my brothers and sisters, I release and surrender any claim, even infinitesimal potential in law surrender, the giving up of an estate to the person who has it in reversion or remainder so as to merge it in a larger estate. A yielding up of an estate for life or years to him who has an immediate estate in reversion or remainder, wherein the estate for life or years may drown by mutual agreement between them. And that's under Black's Law, 6th edition, end quote. All claim and interest to and for the account of the United States as usufructory, and that's an important statement. All claims and interests to and for the account of the United States as usufructory, as a peaceful surrender to end any controversy, war, or rebellion, as I can only be a mere exclusive and authorized user in good faith of that property, name, estate, trust, or title, in pursuance to and reliance on 12 U.S.C. 95A. We, each one and every one of us, are all part of our Creator's family. Please advise me how to proceed in the future. May God bless you abundantly, peacefully, by a man created in the image of God, Genesis 1:27, who calls himself Anthony. Folks, I hope you didn't find this too boring and long. I know it is, and it's just overwhelming to my mind. It should be overwhelming to anyone's mind how the system operates. And please feel free to leave comments. Please feel free to pass this information along. Thank you.